Hello friends, welcome to online learning session. I am Miss S.D. Kale, working as Assistant Professor, Department of Agricultural Economics, KKWA College of Agriculture, Nasik. In our today's online learning session, we are going to see the elasticity of demand, its definition and its types, methods for calculation of elasticity of demand. So let's start with the elasticity of demand. First is definition. The definition of elasticity of demand is the relative change in the quantity to the relative change in the price. Then types of elasticities of demand. There are three types of elasticities of demand. First one is a price elasticity of demand. Second is a income elasticity of demand. And third one is a cross elasticity of demand. Then first one is a price elasticity of demand. This shows the responsiveness of quantity demanded of a commodity where the price of the commodity changes with other factors being constant. The price elasticity of demand. There is a formula to calculate the price elasticity of demand, and that is percent change in the quantity demanded divided by percent change in the price. Or there is another formula for the same calculation, and that is proportionate change in the quantity demanded divided by proportionate change in the price. These are the two formulas used to calculate the price elasticity of demand for any commodity in the market. Then next is a income elasticity of demand. It measures the responsiveness of demand due to changes in the income of the consumers in terms of percentage when the other factors influencing the demand, for example, are very select, price of the commodity, price of the substitutes, taste, preferences, etc. These factors are kept constant. There is a formula to calculate the income elasticity of demand, and that is percent change in the quantity demanded divided by percent change in the income. Or there is another one also, proportionate change in the quantity demanded divided by proportionate change in the income. These are the formulas used to calculate the income elasticity of demand for any individual. Then last one is a cross elasticity of demand. Demand for one good, supposed to be X, is also influenced by the price of the other related good, suppose Y. This may be substitutes or complements. It is the ratio of a change in the quantity demanded of commodity X and the percent change in the price of related commodity Y. It is the ratio. So there is a formula to calculate the cross elasticity of demand, and that is percent change in the quantity demanded of commodity X divided by percent change in the price of related commodity Y. Or there is another one also, and that is proportionate change in the quantity demanded of commodity X divided by proportionate change in the price of related commodity Y. When there is a change in the price of one commodity leads to or results to change in the demand for other commodity which is used as a substitute for the first commodity. Then how to calculate the elasticity or change in the demand and price of that particular commodity? There is the formula. By using these formulas we can easily calculate the cross elasticity of demand for any substitutes in the market. Then next is a methods for measuring the price elasticity. There are some methods which are used to calculate the price elasticity, and they are three. The first one is a total outlay or expenditure method. Next one is a point elasticity of demand, and third one is a arc elasticity of demand. Then see first one, that is total outlay or expenditure. Here out means what is going from our side or what is going away from us, or the money going away from us, and that is how the money is going, that we are expending on something. That's why the name is total outlay or expenditure. The money is going out or going away from us, and how they are going, that we are expending or we are spending that money on something to fulfill our needs, and that's why the name is a total outlay or expenditure method. So see the explanation of this. In this method, we compare the total expenditure of consumer before and after change in the price. The elasticity of demand remains unity when the total expenditure remains unaltered even though there is a price change. The demand is said to be elastic when the total expenditure increases with fall in and decreases with rise in price. Inelastic demand observed when the total amount spent on a commodity by the consumer increases with increase in price and decreases with fall in price. See here, total expenditure method. It is, here is a chart. We can see here the chart. In that chart, the serial number, price in rupees per unit, quantity in unit, and total expenditure in unit. See, serial number 1, the price of the particular commodity is 5. When rupees is 5, the individual is purchasing 6 units of that commodity. Then how much money he is totally expending on that? That is 5 into 6, that is 30. Then in the next row, that is second, the price is 4.50 rupees. When price is 4.50, the individual is purchasing 10 units of that commodity and totally expending 45 rupees on the particular commodity. Then next row, 4 rupees is a price. When price is 4, the quantity purchased by that individual is 15 units. Then that is rupees 60 is total expenditure on that particular commodity. In the serial number 4, the price becomes 3.50 rupees and quantity or units purchase is 20 units. Then total expenditure becomes 60. In the 5th, then price is rupees 2. When price are rupees 2, price is rupees 2, the quantity purchase is 25 units and the total expenditure becomes 50. And at the 6th point, price is rupees 1 and quantity purchased is 30 units and total expenditure is 30 rupees. See, between 1 and 2, the elasticity is greater than unity or relatively elastic because the total expenditure increases with fall in price and decreases with rise in price. Between 3 and 4, the elasticity is unitary as the total outlay remains the same, though there is a variation in the price. And between 5 and 6, the fall in price is followed by fall in the total outlay, and a rise in price is accompanied by the increase in the total expenditure. Therefore, the elasticity is less than unity or also known as relatively inelastic. So in the see here, in the serial number 1 and 2, if we see the prices are, if we see the upward down, then the prices are lowering. Then with the lowering in the price, the expenditure is also goes on increasing, and that is the positive sign according to the law of demand. So here the elasticity of demand is greater than 1. In the 3 and 4, the total expenditure remains constant though the prices are changing. So the total expenditure remains constant, that indicates the unitary elastic demand or unitary demand. And in the 5th and 6th serial number, the prices are lowering, and with the lowering or fall in the price, the total expenditure is also goes on decreasing, and that is the negative sign according to the law of demand. So therefore here is the elasticity of demand is less than 1. Then next is a point elasticity of demand. It is the geographical method for measuring the elasticity at a point on a demand curve. This method is used when price and quantity changes are extremely small. This method applicable only when we possess the information on the minute changes in the price and quantity. See here, this is the graph for point elasticity of demand. A straight line demand curve joining the two axes is considered to show the measurement of point elasticity. Elasticity at any point on the demand curve is the ratio of lower part of the straight line to the upper part. It is important to know that point elasticity of demand on a straight line is different at every point. At any point to the right of the midpoint, that is P, the point elasticity is less than unity, and at any point to the left of the midpoint, that is point P, the point elasticity is more than unity, and at the midpoint, that is point P, the elasticity is unity. At the point where a linear demand curve intersects y-axis, that is point M, the point elasticity is infinite, while the point where the demand curve intersects x-axis, that is point N, the point elasticity is 0. This is the explanation for this demand curve. That is, on this demand curve, the lower section is represented by red color, and upper section or upper segment is represented by green color, and P is the midpoint. At the midpoint, the elasticity of demand is 1. In the upper segment or left hand side of the midpoint, the elasticity of demand is greater than 1, and at the lower side or right hand side of P, the elasticity of demand is 1, and where this curve is intersects y-axis at the point M, the elasticity of demand is infinity, and at the point N, where the this demand curve intersects to the x-axis, the elasticity of demand is 0. This is the explanation for this. And one thing you have to keep in mind, that is, on the demand curve, every point have the different elasticities. Third one is a arc elasticity of demand. The price elasticity of demand measured between two distinct points on a demand curve is called as arc elasticity of demand. This method uses the midpoint between the old and the new data in case of price and quantity. It studied a portion of demand curve between 2 points. An arc is a segment or a portion on a curved line. Formula to calculate the elasticity of demand. Elasticity of demand is equals to Q2 minus Q1 divided by Q1 plus Q2 entirely divided by 2, and that entire term is divided by P2 minus P1 in bracket P1 plus P2 bracketly divided by 2. This is the formula to calculate the elasticity of demand by arc method, where Q1 is the first quantity observed, Q2 is the second quantity, P1 is the first observed price, and P2 is the second price. And by putting the values, market values, in this formula, you can easily calculate the elasticity of demand by arc method. Then next is a factors affecting elasticity of demand. First one is a type of good. The demand is inelastic or less elastic for necessaries. It is obvious because the price changes do not influence the consumption of this good. On the other hand, in respect of comforts and luxuries, the demand is elastic or relatively elastic. Then next is a goods having several uses. The demand for those goods which can be put to the several uses is elastic. For example, electricity, when it is cheap, it can be put to Uses like cooking, apart from the regular use in the production of industrial goods, transport, lighting, etc. In case of dearer, its use is limited and demand is automatically declines. Third one is the existence of substitute. The demand for those commodities which have good substitutes is elastic. The price variation of such goods would have to a bearing on the quantity demanded. If the price of groundnut oil increases with the price of other edible oils, say sunflower, remaining the constant, the consumer tends to shift to sunflower oil. Conversely, a decrease in the price of groundnut oil makes consumers to switch over back to the groundnut oil. Possibilities of postponement. For such goods, the purchase of which can be postponed by the consumer, the demand is elastic. The consumers prefers to buy the same when their prices are cheap. For example, televisions, cars, ornaments, etc. are the relevant examples for this, that we can easily postpone if the prices are high for that particular goods. And last one is a range of price. When the price range of goods is very high or very low, the demand is inelastic. The demand for the good like salt, matches, etc. with low price range, the demand is inelastic. Analogously, for goods like diamonds, luxuries, cars, etc., the demand is inelastic as consumers cannot afford to the changes in the price of such a high range. These are the factors affecting the elasticity of demand. Thank you for your peaceful listening.